Hey, this is Lucid Luunar, tapping in with Smooth Studios, and this was my smooth session.
Andy, let's go. I bear fruit of minutes when I hibernate in my mind. Sap seeps from its essence and sees a scene of sweetness gone in seconds. Ripe into bitterness.
The meaning behind the name Lucid Luunar, there's actually a lot of different meanings behind the name. But for me, it originated out of maintaining a lucid perspective through many different lunar phases. The moon is very closely tied with emotions that people feel. So the goal was to show that I'm moving with the control over my dream in the real world through all the different phases that I may go through. So it's just my perspectives through it all and my story. If I'm feeling like there's a blockage, I usually gotta go and do something. It's the sign that I haven't processed an emotion enough to communicate it for other people to listen to at that time, or whatever the song may be. So I found that journaling helps a lot, walking helps a lot. But I'm a growing believer in the fact that there's no such thing as creative block. You're just blocking yourself, get out your way. Let the art flow through you. I'd say my approach to art over the years has changed in many drastic ways, especially as I've picked up on many different skills. I initially didn't mix or engineer any of my music, and there was a period of time I didn't produce, and this all started when I was just doing poetry, which turned into writing some more lyrics. I danced for a period of time, so my lens has always been through whatever medium of art that I'm working with at the time, and it all informs what I feel like is now a very fluid creative process that's ever changing. The biggest component of my creative process now that I can depend on is the fact that it's going to change and won't ever be the same. A project that I'm proud of, I'm very tempted to say the one that I'm working on now, but there will be a time and place for that. I am very proud of To the Moon and Back. That was a very challenging album for me. It was my first time living in a new city. First time, not living in my mama crib. It was a very different circumstance all in all. And I pushed myself creatively, I pushed myself emotionally, I learned about myself in a lot of ways. By the end of that album, I cut my locks. Like, if you knew me at the time, like, you knew I would never, so I went through a lot of transformation, a lot of growth, a lot of change in that time period. So I really appreciate that album sonically. It did so much for me. There are a lot of genres and styles. I feel like there's not a lot that I wouldn't want to try, and you'll come to see that when you listen to this coming album, Hidden in Plain Sight. I've experimented with some hints of reggae even, and Brazilian funk. Like, I feel like I've tried to blend so many different things to where it's no longer a genre that I can categorize that is familiar to others. Like, this is truly Lucid Luunar. Like, this is lucid music. Hey y'all, this is Lucid Luunar, tapping in with Smooth Studios, and this was my smooth session.
Bite that fruit, baby, bite that fruit. I bet there's something sweet for you. Bitter is illusions you taste when you bite that truth. Sweetness I illusion.